What is going on, everyone? How are you all doing? This is Carlo, your host at Investing with Carlo. And today I'm going to show you another live trade. That's right, you guessed it. If you've been following, it's another fuel cell trade. Again, the reason why I'm trading this so often is one, there's so much volatility in there, so there's a lot of percentage profit you can take from it. You can capture a few percent from there. And two, in terms of my margin is about $1,000. So I can't let it go over 50%. So fuel cell fits that bracket perfectly. Hence why I'm going to be trading this pretty much every trade until it gets to a higher number, until I'm happy to either add more funds or it's gotten to a level where I can trade something of higher value. So that's why I'm trading fuel cell. Now today I'm continuing my strategy of shorting fuel cell. In the last week, in the last 3 days especially, fuel cell has been pumping quite a lot, and this is most likely due to the fact that they announced their end of quarter results meeting, which is going to be next week. So it's been pumping quite a lot. On top of that, the DJI, the Dow Jones, has been pumping quite a lot as well. In the last 3 days has been, especially at market open, it's been going up quite a bit. So that also gives it extra, an extra boost to carry on going higher. So what my strategy has been to wait until it runs out of steam and then to short it, grab 2% and let it go. Now, every time I've done this, there was actually more to gain if I went long. However, I've chosen to be a contrarian, so far so good. So let's get into the trade. This one's a bit longer. I actually made 4 trades today, which is not very good. I mean, ideally I'd want to just do 1 trade and leave it, take my profits and go. However, in the last few days, I felt that I could also take advantage of the reverse moves in these trades. When I short it, because it's so bullish, I could also go long. Now I did. Let's get into the trade. I've been talking too much, and then I will add some commentary as it's going along. So it was up pre-market about 6-7% perhaps. So it's going to jump out quite quickly. There you go. So 7% up pre-market. As always, I'm waiting for my entry. I'm waiting for that sign for me to get in. Now, a lot of times in this week, it's retraced and it's carried on pumping somewhat further. So I want to finish, let it run out of steam, and then I'm going to jump in. So I've got my order ready. As always, stop loss is at the ready, and I'm calculating 2% constantly as it's moving forward. So here, I've got my finger on the trigger, which is not ideal, but at the same time, I want to capture the top. So I want to be at the ready. So this is when it starts to turn around. Not the place I was expecting. To be honest, I was expecting something closer to 1750 or perhaps 18. So at this point, I wasn't 100% sure that this was the entry point. I thought maybe it could use this area as support and carry on going further. So I wanted it to break this level right here, and then I would enter. And there you go, I'm straight in. Once it broke that, I thought, okay, here we go. I can grab my 2% and that's it. Now, going into this now, I'm thinking, you know what, maybe I can grab more than 2%. So this is a bit of a tough one, because it's finding a balance between being greedy and actually just taking what the market is offering. So I was really somewhat conflicted. Now at this point, I was still confident that, there you go, massive rejection. That's gonna keep going further. So that should turn around soon. Again, I'm still fairly confident. As you can see, it wasn't able to cross this area. So now it's going further down. And I think I moved down the profit taking area because I'm becoming more confident as it's going further. I thought perhaps this is going to be one of those days where it just keeps on dropping to the downside. So as you can see, I'm thinking maybe I can grab a 3.7% gain right there. And it does actually keep on going. There you go. Lovely money in my pocket. Now at this point, you know, of course in hindsight I can say I should have taken profit, because it did start to turn around a little bit here. But now I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's going to go past the 50-cent level. As you can see, now I'm starting to see I'm still learning in terms of my conviction and letting the market just play out. As you can see, I've got my finger on the trigger ready to take some profit because I think it's going to turn around. Speed this up a little bit. So it does actually start to consolidate a little bit. It did start to worry me. Right, so at this point I am thinking, as you can see I took profit. At this point I was thinking, you know what, it's looking like it's creating a base, and now I'm gonna, you know, I've waited long enough and I think this may go against me, so I'm gonna, you know, lock in my profit and see what happens. It might go further down, it might not, but I'm happy to take profit at this point. It wasn't quite the, you know, the highest I could have taken, but still it's just over 1%, maybe 1.5%, so it's still good profit. I think it does end up going a little bit further down. So now this is where my inexperience starts to really come in, because now I'm thinking, you know what, I've left some profit on the table, maybe I can grab in some more. It might just drop some further to my target that I thought it would go to. So however, I wasn't entirely convinced. I didn't want to put too much down, so I decided to half my leverage essentially. I'm just going to speed this up. I ended up taking a short position. So here, at this point, I'm thinking, you know what, it's going to keep dropping. Let me take a short. And in a second, I should drop that order. So I'm waiting for further confirmation that it's going to drop further. I enter that short. But guess what? I timed the exact bottom, which is the opposite of what I should be doing. One thing I am happy about though is I did spot this early on. This big candle over here, I did spot this, thinking, you know what, I think I just timed the very bottom. So I sold my position with I think just a little bit at a loss, perhaps tiny bit in the red. Sold my position and I thought, okay, this actually looks like the bottom, so why not go long and capitalize on that. So I did again half the leverage and set my 2%. There you go. I'm waiting for confirmation, and then boom, I went long. So however, this time, instead of doing my usual 2% stop loss, I decided 1%. I didn't want to risk any more than that. That would eat into the profit of the day. But I did go for 2% profit taking, and it does actually tap that. There you go. It went past, actually. I think it carries on going past all the way until 17.10. However, you know, I was just happy to take a little £10 profit. That was enough. And now at this point, I'm getting greedy. This is pure greed and over trading. Now I'm thinking I may have caught the top once again. So I've entered another trade to go short and see if I can grab some money on the way down. But I'm going to speed this up because what had happened was it did dip somewhat. You know, I could have grabbed a little bit of profit. So it starts to go my way. But this was just absolutely, you know, agonizing because it's literally consolidating around that $17 level for the rest of the trade. and you know, I got quite tired basically in the end of just waiting and keeping it. So I took, you know, a little £2 or £3 profit, and that was it basically. So a bit of a long video, 4 trades. I'd say, you know, looking back, reflecting on my trade. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with the way I executed this, especially the first 2 trades, in that I let the profits run to see if there was any more. However, it started to turn around against me, so you know, I took my profit. That wasn't the most I could have taken. However, it was still a nice 1.5%. And then after that, when I thought it was going to go further down, I entered another short, but realized I had actually timed the bottom, so I reversed that very quickly. I was happy that I was able to see the market signals and, you know, change course instead of sticking to my guns and just going, you know, riding it the wrong way around. So I was happy with that. After that, I wasn't, of course, I did another trade thinking I was going to time the top once again, but that was pure over trade. I didn't have to, that was pure greed. So all in all, a good day's, you know, profit, I think 1.52% in all. So that's pretty good. We're happy with that. Next time though, I think I'm gonna make sure to maximum do 1 to 2 trades a day. I think that's a good level to do it at, because then it's just pure analysis and playing on my edge rather than going with the market flow. So I hope you got some value from that, and see you in the next video. Peace.